There are two major types of dialing we can do. The first is a single wheel movement, or called wheel isolation, in which case you're just moving one of the wheels and the other two are held in a location. And we've already talked about some of the uses of that. The second one is holding a single wheel still and moving the other two. And this one you use all the time because once you've found one of the numbers, you're going to start, for example, you find wheel 3's gate, you're going to start wanting to do a scan of wheel 1 and 2 at the same time. And you want to be able to efficiently move those without having a lot of work to do. So that's what that section talks about. Let's talk about wheel isolations. And we'll start with wheel 3. And that is the easiest wheel to isolate. So by isolation, it means I want to set the other wheels to a location and I don't want them to move, or I want them to stay in the same place. And then I want the wheel, in this case wheel 3, to be the one that's scanning. So I'm going to be wanting to scan wheel 3 without moving wheel 2. The nice thing about, let's just do a full example here. Let's say I want to leave this at the first two numbers, 78, and pick up wheel 3, then pick up wheel 2 and set it at 24. Okay. Now I just want to keep wheel 1 and 2 in the same location and move wheel 3. So right now wheel 3 will be parked at 24. There it is. You can see the dial stops at 24. And this is wheel 3, so we want to do this with a left rotation. There's no problem with moving this in the opposite direction, but we want to do a left rotation. So the easiest to do right here would be to start at 24 and then work our way up, and then we'll start at 0. We'll go up from 24 to 100 and then 0 to 24. And remember, when you're around the drop-in points where the cam is, which on this is about 5 to 12, that you have to make sure you're not messing up your wheels. So let's just show you how this works. So I would be able to make a check at 24. So wheel 3 at 24, and then I'm going to move it to 26. And we could do drop in at 26, and then I'm going to move it to 28. You see the other two aren't moving. And then I do my drop in points, and then I would do 30, check my drop in points, and then go 32, check my drop in points. Or if I was doing this for the last one, I would be testing, see if it was open. And then 34, and then 36. You can see I'm just slowly moving that wheel 3 a little bit each time. We'll go 38, and then 40. Check our drop-ins, and then 42. I know the gate's at 50 here, so 44, 46, 48, and 50. There we go, I dropped in. So you can see, just do a simple wheel isolation. I could either be testing for drop-in, if I got the full combination, or if I just want to hold wheel 1 and 2 at a low point and move wheel 3. And I did that in the left rotation, just so that that is the normal way you would do it for wheel 3. So when you're dialing, so I don't want to have to do a right-left conversion, so I am dialing left. So that is isolating wheel 3. Okay, let's look at isolating the middle wheel, wheel 2. So we're going to put wheel 1 and 3 in a location, and then we're just going to be slowly moving wheel 2 around. So I'm going to put wheel 1 and 3 on their gates, and then we'll just be moving wheel 2. So let's do left rotation, because I want wheel 1 to come in with the left rotation. And I'm going to put it at 78, which is right where the gate is. I'm going to pick up wheel 2, wheel 3 and wheel 2, both of them. And I'm not going to actually move it. I'm just going to keep there at 76 or 78. I'm 76 now. So that's okay. I'm going to go start from 76. And then I'm going to do left rotation to move wheel 3 to the third number, which is 50. So if you look, you can see wheel 1 and wheel 3 have the gate underneath the fence, and wheel 2 is at 78. So I would check my drop-in points. And now I'm going to move right rotation. I'm going to pick up wheel 3, and I'm going to pick up wheel 2. And I'm just going to move it a tiny bit to 74. And then I'm going to do a left rotation. I'm going to pick up wheel 3 and place it at 50. So we see wheel 1 and wheel 3 are now at the gate. And we've moved wheel 72 a little bit. So I check my points here. I'm going to do a right rotation, pick up wheel 3, and just barely pick up wheel 2, which is at 74 right now. So let's move it to 72. So I move it to 72 just a little bit, and then I'm going to go back, pick up wheel 3, and place it at 50. And then do my drop-in, my contact points. I do right rotation. I'm going to pick up wheel 3 and just barely pick up wheel 2 to go down to 70. And then left rotation, and I'm going to move wheel 3 to position at 50. And then check my drop-in points. And you can see wheel 3, when I'm checking my drop-in points, wheel 1 and 3 have their gates over the fence. Again, both of those were done with a left rotation, and wheel 2 has been slowly moving backwards, starting at wheel 1's location, which is 78, and moving backwards through the dial. So it went 78, 76, 74, 72, 70. And I can take my readings and then keep going. Okay, so let's look at keeping wheel 2 and 3 in the correct locations while we scan around with wheel 1. So let's do all wheels right, all wheels left, I should say. And we're going to put both wheel 1 and 2, actually all the wheels here, but wheel 1 and 2 in particular, on 24. And 24 is the middle one, but that's just because it makes it a little bit easier here if we set it to the same value. So we're going to move right. And we're going to pick up wheel 3, and then we're just going to make a minute move and move wheel 2 to right 24, which it should already be at. And then we're going to come back with a left rotation, do left 50. So we're going to move wheel 3 up to 50, and you can see wheel 3 and 2 are over the gates. That's what we're going to keep. And we are going to be spinning wheel 1 around in a left rotation. So we do our contact points. Now we're going to go left to pick up basically all the wheels. Wheel 2 and 1 will basically pick up at the same time here at 24. We're going to put them at 28 or 26, I should say. So it's just a tiny little move. So now wheel 1 moved from 24 to 26. We're going to come around. We're going to pick up wheel 3. We're just going to do a tiny move when we pick up wheel 2 at approximately 24. So we're going to move it with a right rotation to 24. And then we move back. We're going to move wheel 3. So you see this is still efficient dialing, but it's still pretty complicated. But it's easier than starting all over again and doing a combination from the start. So yeah, we would check our contact points here. And again, we're going to do left rotation, pick up all our wheels, and put wheel 1 on 28. So we're going to pick up this here. We're going to pick up wheel 2 at 24, and then we're just going to pick up wheel 1 just a little bit later at 26, so we're going to move them to 28. And then we're going to pick up wheel 2 and just move it a little bit back. So pick up wheel 3, and then we pick up wheel 2 second at 26 here, and we're going to move it to 24 for a right rotation on, which is the correct rotation, to 24. And then we'll do a left rotation and pick up wheel 3 and put it on 50. Oops, I put a little too much. That's okay. It's easy to fix that. I'm just going to move it back to before 50, and then I'm going to move it to 50. So that was a little mistake. That's a quick way of fixing mistake. That's easy to do if you mess up on wheel 3. And then we would check the drop-ins. And then I'm going to, again, do a left rotation, and I'm going to be picking up all the wheels. So wheel 2 will pick up, and then wheel 3 will pick up. We're going to move it to 30 with a left rotation. So there we are at 30. I'm going to pick up wheel 3, and then pick up wheel 2, and just do a small little move from 30 down to 24. And then pick it up at 24 and move it to 50. And then check my points. So you just keep on doing this, and this will keep wheel 2 and 3 basically in the same location while we're doing a left rotation spin or scan of wheel 1. And that's wheel isolations for the three different wheels. Now, a common situation will be you have found wheel 3's number and you just want to scan around on wheel 1 and 2. So we're going to keep wheel 3 over its gate while we scan for wheel 1 and 2 moving around. So let's look at this. Wheel 3's gate is at 50. So what we're going to do is we're going to start here. We're going to do a bunch of turns to the right. And we're going to move them basically to 50. So now everything's on 50. Now what we're going to do is pick up wheel 3 and move it to 50, which isn't actually any movement at all, and then check our drop-in points. Now, this is where it gets a little bit easier to see. We're going to spin back down to right. We're going to continue spinning to right 50, and then continue. Now notice that all the wheels are going to move here. So we're going to go to 48. So now all wheels are 48, and we're going to come back. We're just going to nudge wheel 3. Oops, I went too far. I'm going to just fix that by moving it back to just below 50. And then I'm going to come back and do a left turn to 50. And then I check my drop-in points. Now I want to go to 46. So I'm going to do a right spin past 50 to 46. So notice that all the wheels are moving. I'm going to go to 46. And then I spin left. And I'm going to pick up just the wheel 3, and I'm going to move it to 50. And then check my drop-ins. I'm going to continue right. I'm going to go past 50, and I am going to go to 44. I spin past, pick up the wheel 3 and place it on 50 and do my drop-ins. So you can see that wheel 3, when we do our drop-ins, is always at the gate, and we are just slowly moving 1 and 2 around. So we can continue this. Continue right. We're going to pick up wheel 3 at 50 and just move it a little bit until we get to 44, and we're going to pick up all the wheels and we're going to move to 42. And then I continue with the left rotation to pick up wheel 3 here at 42, and then continue it to 50, and then to my drop-in points. So that's showing holding wheel 3 in one location while scanning on wheel 1 and 2. Okay, so we are going to look at the case now where we first found wheel 2's gate. In this case, it'll be at 24. So let's start everything at 24. So we're going to move everything with a right rotation to 24, and then we check our drop-in points. And now we want to move wheel 1 and 3 to 26 while keeping wheel 2 at 24. There's no real easy way of doing this, but we're going to do a left spin. We're going to pick up wheel 3. Then we're going to pick up at 24 here, wheel 2. And then we're going to pick up wheel 3. At 24 and move it to 26. Now all the wheels are at 26. And we're going to pick up wheel 2 and move it to 24 with a right rotation. And then move wheel 3 to 26. And then check our drop-in points. And again, now we want to move to 28. So we're going to do a left spin to pick up both wheel 1 and 2. Oops, I went past it. That's okay. Just continue. So I'm going to move them both to 28. Oh, missed that a little too far too. So this is great to see some mistakes and how to fix them. So I'm just going to go to 28. And then I'm going to pick up wheel 2 with the right rotation and move it to 24. And then with the left rotation, I'm going to move wheel 3 to 26. And then check my drop-in points. Now we do 28, so I'm going to do a left rotation and pick up wheel 3, 2, and 1 and move them to 26, or 28, I should say. And then I'm going to quickly, you can see it's just a tiny movement there because you pick them all up at the same time. I'm going to pick up wheel 3 and wheel 2 with the right rotation here. So I get my right rotation on wheel 2 to 24. You can see its gate is under there. And then I'm going to move this to 28. And then check my drop-in points. And again, let's do 30. So I'm going to pick up all the wheels and place wheel 1 at 30. See, that happens very, very quickly. And I'm going to do a right rotation to pick it up at wheel 3 at 30, and then move wheel 2 to 24. The right rotation, and then wheel 3 back to 30 with the left rotation, and then check the drop-in points. And I would continue around like that. Okay, let's look at our final example here. We've seen our gate on wheel 1 at 78, and we want to scan wheel 2 and wheel 3 around. So we'll just start here. We'll just do an all wheels left, and we will set everything to 78. And then we check our drop-ins. Now we want to move wheel 1 and 2 to 76. So we can move wheel 2 around to that we're going to right. We're going to pick up wheel 3, and then we're going to pick up wheel 2. And we're just going to move them to 76. It's just a tiny little difference. And we can check our drop-in points. And again, we would pick up wheel 3 and 2 and move them to 74 and check our drop-in points. And we pick them both up, move them to 72 and check our drop-in points. And we pick them up, pick both of them up and go to 68. So this is very quick dialing because we can pick up wheel 2 and 3 immediately and go to 66 and check them. So, and then we go to 64 and check them. So again, very, very simple dialing.